Hey there, team, and welcome to the finale of the Arnorian narrative campaign. Also to episode 108 of it. So, really has been quite a long road. Certainly a lot longer than I was expecting at the start of this campaign. Sort of intending, but I definitely, as I've stated before, this was a much more ambitious project than I gave it credit for at the start. All in all, we're through. This should be the final official episode. There should be one more, which I'm going to be viewing as like an epilogue. That will still be, quote-unquote canon, of course, but it will be more along the lines of, I'll talk a lot more about what I've learned and what I intend to do differently for my next campaign and for my next Divide and Conquer campaign, anyway. And things I've learned for campaigns as a whole. So this will be when I wrap up the story, and at the very end of this, Aragorn should begin his walk west, most likely alongside Gandalf. In addition to that, I can only apologise for the end of the last episode. The sound, or not so much the sound, the music that appears alongside the events, I can't control how loud they are. They're just going to be as loud as it's going to be, and I could have just turned down my laptop. That's a fair point. I could have turned down the sound of the game, but I just didn't think it was going to come through as loud as it did. So I will be explaining again. I have thought about it a bit more thoroughly. I'll explain again the final trials of Araphor. And I'll try to make sure that this episode is released right after 107, so that you're not waiting too long to sort of find out what happened. So even if it's not an official, even if it's not meant to be released as per my schedule at that time, I'll pop one out. So, one thing I just wanted to pop out here. Interesting, this is still viewed as this crusading army, when they're not crusading. They're no longer part of a crusading faction. But anyway, so we're going to be marching off to go and take Barad-dûr. That's how I'm hoping to bring this to a close here for Aragorn. Barad-dûr itself would have, it would have collapsed at this point, but it is such a monumental fortress that even its ruins are superior to many castles and great forts. So we want to take it, we want to hold it, and we also want to make sure that none of Sauron's black Numenorean survivors can find anything of worth there. First thing, before I get into the Araphor story there, thank you for anybody that has, of course, been following us from the start at this point. It's been a very, very long road, almost a year. Almost a year long, really. And for anybody that has jumped in, either halfway through or perhaps, months and years after this has been finished, thank you very much for your support as well. It's very nice to know that my content is providing some entertainment, even long after I made it. So very, very grateful that you popped by to sit through. Bumping into Gobadrine there. I'll not talk too much about what's going on, but hopefully you can see everything there. So Araphor, I did sort of explain it, of course, but I think most of it was a bit muffled out by the sounds of the music. So Araphor holding the ring. The ring provided him with great power, as it does most beings, and especially most sort of beings with extreme, with power anyway. But Araphor was reluctant to it, as we would certainly hope he is, and that's why Aragorn was so. He desired him to have the ring. He knew he would be reluctant. He knew he would not reluctant, resistant to it, and the search for the entrance to Mount Doom, however, drew on longer and longer than we intended and than we expected it to take. And I'll just do this fight, but I won't talk too much about it. We'll just generally be talking about Araphor. It'll be another kind of little meme one, I suspect, but at least with a very, very powerful force on our side. Hey, sorry about that cut there. I was just absolutely cocking that bit up, and I thought, kind of need to focus on this battle, and then focus on the explanation after. Anyway, I think I cut off pretty much at the start, so I'm imagining as our massive force is there, because we did truly have a lot of troops, a lot of very expensive troops. Of course, these men are very devoted. They're not really being paid there, but I mean expensive in terms of maintenance, in terms of what they require to remain combat capable. They are, and it's difficult to support that in the bleak wilderness of Gorgoroth. You know, on the steep slopes of Mount Doom. That's not really something that we could support. Not with any great ease, anyway. They do seem to be coming at me, but this shouldn't be a problem. No, they're just reshuffling. That's fine. Oh, they are moving a ram up, but that's not going to arrive. So this is applying a lot of pressure to our forces. We know if we can't find it here, we've got to leave. We've got to reorganize, and then we've got to come back in, and that's more time for Araphor to become more corrupted. Not so much for him to turn on us. Lord forbid. No, that's never a threat for Aragorn. He doesn't feel that Araphor is going to do that. It's for the sanity of his friend. He doesn't want Araphor to suffer. Okay, that's a bit scary. I may have to cut this again. He doesn't want his friend to suffer. So he wants to try and just get this done as quickly as he can. Now, that is meaning that, of course, our best ranger, the finest ranger in our new, reformed empire, is Araphor. He needs to be searching. We can't have his eyes elsewhere. He's called upon to do what he's very best at, and I mean that's very much what he would want to do anyway, as he wants to get rid of this ring just as quickly as he possibly can as well. So he's out there, he's searching, and he's... AI, what are you doing? Okay, the cavalry... I have no idea. It's fine, we'll let them do what they're going to do for a minute. They're all going to come with the ladder, aren't they? I think they've maybe taken too much damage. I think, oh, that's interesting. They've seen that they just can't win, so they're just going to flee. Maybe. Nope, they're just being silly. That's okay. Makes a nice backdrop for this story, I suppose. So, Araphor is out. He's searching. He's pushing himself incredibly hard to do this. And although he is certainly not knowingly using the ring to empower his abilities, the ring doesn't really care. The ring is going to try and empower you in order to tempt you. It's going to, you're not asking it to do stuff. He's not wearing it, Lord forbid, of course, but it's just very much the ring being in his presence is enough to give him this expanded ability to add into his already, expert perception. He is now, also the ring bearer level of perception. He's sorry, again having to focus a bit more on this. So he is using the ring whether he wants to or not, and that is, speed, not so much speeding. Yeah, that's speeding up his possible downfall, and putting himself through a lot more stress than it had originally been hoped that he would go through. So, Araphor, after what in characterly would have been quite some time, likely, well over a month. This, as I said in the last thing, Sauron would have destroyed the entrances to Mount Doom. He, unlike when Frodo and Sam sneaked on in there, you know, without Sauron really knowing they have the ring. Sauron knows who's got the ring, and he knows what we're intending to do with it. He sees our spirit. He saw Araphor. You know, he fought Araphor in close quarters, so he knows that this man is at least right now going to try and destroy the ring. So he's made every attempt to cut off Mount Doom, and it takes a very long time, even with our skill, to find a good entrance into the volcano. So finally, Araphor is able to locate it, and I don't think he really, even as far gone as he is, I don't think he has that much trouble getting rid of it. I think there's definitely a bit of a painful thing that he would go through when he kind of realizes, well, as much as Aragorn trusts him, I think Aragorn would be there. Aragorn wouldn't really let Araphor do this alone. Now, of course, he's wanting to be a supportive friend, but I think by that point, Araphor's sanity is fraying. He's his willpower is fading slightly, and he would possibly see Aragorn's support as his trusted friend's thoughts of disloyalty to him. You know, he thinks, you know, my king that I've sacrificed everything for doesn't believe that I'm going to make this one final sacrifice. He doesn't think I can do it. And I think that that's maybe the final straw for him. And although he does discard the ring, I think that the destruction that is caused, of course we didn't expect Mount Doom to explode in such a way. I think that that's something that would have thrown our troops into a bit of chaos, and even as disciplined as we are, there would have been a pretty frantic rout, not so much rout, a frantic evacuation of the lands in order to get west. And I think that's the point where Araphor would have made his split. He would have, as I say, it's that sort of feeling of not so much betrayal, but it's you know, at this final moment, he maybe did feel like, you know, Aragorn didn't think he could do it. And it is also, you know, being parted from the ring, there would have been this perception that he had been unknowingly benefiting from was gone. So it's this sudden feeling of weakness, and you know, he's immediately aware that he may never enjoy the things that he used to enjoy. This happy stroll through a forest, you know, escaping into the normal mountains of New Arnor would not provide him anywhere near the same exhilaration as it used to, because he's felt this immense power, this immense magical energy going through him. So I think that those two emotions sort of welling up inside of him, I think that he would have slipped away during the evacuation. Even with Aragorn trying to watch out for him, trying to make sure that he could make it, I think Araphor would have been able to slip away. He's very good at that, even in the sort of very weakened state as he would be in at that point. So he would have fallen behind willingly. Now at that point, it would be the belief of everyone within Arnor, within, you know, for Aragorn, for Gandalf, everyone would believe that Araphor was lost. He remained behind and was caught in the fires. I want to, dude. Holy smokes. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it because I think that it's what we would want to do right now. we would want to make an alliance with Harad. And because we've just destroyed Sauron, you know, we would want to, yeah, definitely. Sorry. But I do like to think, you know, even though that's what we believe right now, we are quite sure that Araphor is gone. There may be this slight chance that there was some will of Iluvatar or creature beyond humanity's understanding and control was present to save the ranger. And yeah, I guess it's like a hopeful little tale that would ring on for a few centuries. You know, people that, you know, they don't really want to tell the really sort of sad ending of what they genuinely believe happened to Araphor. The stories would develop of, you know, he could still be out there, you know, and maybe that is the case. As I say, the dream for the, you know, the happy end of this campaign was Araphor would go to Valinor. I think Araphor was always going to be feeling empty after having the ring. You know, he was never going to be fully fulfilled with his old world pleasures, and he was always going to be strained. So I think it's, you know, he was always going to go to Valinor. Oh, fantastic. Okay, cool. So this is, of course, the tremendous blast. The winds slowly move the ash along the valley. This, I probably should have had a read of this before. Okay. Along the valley of Badun. And further along the Morgul Road. In the distance, the Ash Mountains and the Mountains of Shadow fill the sky with their black peaks. Sorry? Okay. Between the mountain ranges on the wastelands of Gorgoroth, campfires burn bright. Songs of victory can be heard from the camps of the foes of Mordor. Barad-dûr has fallen. The bodies of orcs, Uruk-hai, and trolls alike fill the channels and fissures which spread along the plateau. The high tower is breached and has all but collapsed. The Dark Lord is greatly diminished, but not yet destroyed. As long as the One Ring exists, his spirit endures. The tower's foundation was laid with its power and cannot be unmade while it remains. The agents of Shadow will eventually return, and the armies of darkness are sure to follow. Interesting. Okay, that's I'm really, really pleased with that. It's yeah, just dragging the dwarves of Khazad-dûm, kicking and screaming. Oh.
Let us together rebuild this world, that we may share in the days of peace.
Now come the days of the king.
Good. I didn't try to talk over it there. Once again, probably not going to be able to put ads on this ever, but that's fair enough. Not that I can put ads on any of my videos right now, of course. Alliance announced. Okay. Khazad-dûm. Really? They're the richest faction. Well done, boys. Dark Lord of Mordor is destroyed. So, that was still... Yeah. So we're still going to try and take Barad-dûr. That was just the message of, like, Barad-dûr's... Oh, no. Okay. Okay. They're still all allied together. Because I want to have a big fight. I want these guys to be fighting outside, too. So I guess, hordes of bandits... Like, this is basically, once Sauron is destroyed, like, these are probably all of the Black Numenor, like, because not every Black Numenorian is a warrior, of course. Many Black Numenorians would have served Sauron in Barad-dûr as scribes, scholars, serfs even, you know, but these men are too corrupted. Unlike the Haradrim, who have been misled, these men they know damn well what they've been up to. So, no, we'll be setting upon them.
Yes.
Halbarad and Malor. Of course, I could just attack these men outside, have a nice big battle outside, but I really want to see Barad-dûr, especially because we've not had Barad-dûr in Reforged for some time now. Fantastic! He can actually get involved immediately.
Yes, my lord.
Well, not yeah. Oh, we could. Oh, we could attack them this turn. I think I'll do that. We'll get everything else sorted out first, though.
Your orders, my lord.
But yes, so that's kind of the story of Araphor there. Definitely, you know, definitely a very upsetting end, for damn sure. But
My lord.
it's I feel content with it. Fantastic, I can get over here. So what I did was I was there and I moved. Well, I tried to see what a full movement would have taken me back to. Moved him there, and then I did a full movement to get him over to here. So he is able to come in and aid them.
As you wish.
Fantastic. Good. Other things are just going on around. Coruscant possibly going to get attacked. That's all right. Sant and we happy enough after that defense. I'll move all of that very carefully just to make sure everybody's in
Yes, my
position
lord.
for it, because I definitely want Aragorn there. I want Gandalf there. I want the squad together. But I'll just kind of show what's going on elsewhere in the world before we get cracking into that. I actually pulled back from Gobel Merlond. It was not a fun situation, so we were able to just pull back, and we're not rushing against time now. The ring is destroyed. Sauron is gone, so we saw no reason to try and risk Istvin's life, and Istvan saw no reason to risk the men that had followed him all the way out here's lives. So no, we're going to be taking Gobel Merlond, but we're more than happy with Harad taking that. Yeah, great. Go for it, Desert Boys. Go for it. Everything else, though, this is as far as we want to take. I think we might. I didn't actually show you guys the Great Fleet. This is not the Great Fleet. That's the Great Fleet. It's not astounding or anything. It could be a lot better, but could just be all Alcarondas. But no, I think it's decent enough. Yeah, let's do some boltage, eh?
That's right, fool.
So you guys can get involved over there. You guys can get involved right here. They can't run away, of course, so it's gonna be a bit of a bloodbath. Oh goodness me, nice. They're gonna run away,
We are victorious.
and we cannot get any further. Oh, they could move, but
I'd never take orders.
let's take this nice and carefully,
Ships ready.
because we do not want to really raise any more ships. Elsewhere,
Ships ready.
we have the likes of the Knights of the Silver Swan being trained once again. There are wardens there. Holy smokes, they would have been nice. Some gorgeous halberdiers. And even Dunedain steel bows from here now. Knights of Tirithar. Very cool. Interesting. I could train them before I could train the knights. Which, yes, I suppose that makes some sense, but very, very good. Anything else that's fancy? So we would have just been continuing on to train all of these men of Gondor, these men of Dol Amroth, and it would be, you know, because we'd be wanting them to be pushing down, taking Gobel Merlond. We're gathering up a force there to prepare to strike it. Right now it is, of course, very heavily militia focused, but there are some proper troops arriving down here now. So that's where we would be striking with them, and I may end up doing that during my epilogue episode, but I think that today the only thing I really want to do now is strike Barad-dûr. So I'm going to just stop recording for a moment just to make sure that I can get everybody where I kind of want them to be. I also do need to decide who I actually want to play as. That's a tough... I want to play as Aragorn. So what I'll do is I'll move... Damn. That's a thing. Okay, I'll need to think about this, because I'll have to... I might be a cheeky boy and move him, just so that he can launch the attack, but we'll see. We'll see. If I can do it properly, I'll do it properly. So, we'll be right back. Advancing up toward this great citadel, or what would at this point be the ruins of a once great citadel, we have Aragorn with a... I basically just grabbed all of the cavalry and artillery. I didn't actually take anything more into Araphor's army. I feel it's smaller, but it pretty damn good.
Yes.
Halbrad, again, pretty much just what he had before. AI should be totally fine with this, and Halbrad is a pretty beefy guy, to say the least, so he should be alright. Malor is under the most threat here, and of course, very fragile Malor. Never actually given him any sort of armor upgrades. He's been quite busy after we took Isengard, but he has got a nice, strong army. A lot of steel bowmen. Holy smokes, I think...
Your orders.
I mean, everybody technically has a steel bowman, because Halbrad's a steel bowman.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll get cracking into this.
As you command.
We've got our double ballista, so we should be able to bust open any door. There's with its 3 grand. I was a little worried, because I saw that this crusade symbol was sliced out. Sorry if anybody doesn't like the clicking, I do that a lot. But, so I was like, oh damn, are they not able to take part in the fight? And as much as I want this to be a night attack, it's like, no, we want the boys to get in here, and it should be quite nasty and dark anyway out. So let's just give a quick little save there and get underway. So, yeah, so that's the main things that I was hoping to get explained done, really. So the dream is that this battle is going to go very well, and then Aragorn will be beginning his march home, his march back to Annuminas now, and we'll kind of just talk for the rest of the episode. We'll take a fog of war, and I'll just discuss what, you know, our plans would be going forward from this point. God, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, okay, cool. So it is, I love this little pool. I've always really enjoyed that little pool for Barad-dûr. Is it the same? This is maybe new. And then it is, that's the only gate, right? Yeah, no more gates, no more gates after that. Oops, daisy, sorry. Oh, we've just risen up. Aha, fantastic. Oh dear. There we go. Nice viewpoint in the battlefield. This is how you want every game to be played. But no. I actually watched a little video of somebody playing Shadow of War, where they kind of glitch out of the map and they climb Barad-dûr. It's quite funny. So I'm gonna see. I'll have my cavalry outside, led by Gandalf, and I think my infantry is gonna get stuck in right now. I know it makes most tactical sense just to deal with the reinforcing army and then attack, but I'll try and get my attack underway, and I'll try and have things happen simultaneously. I'll take a pause if I need to in order to like really see what's going on, but probably won't have to do too much of that. Okay, get you there and get you there. Just try and use up the ammunition as we do. I'm gonna take this. Oh, I'm gonna take this slightly worse shot for a minute, just to avoid the situation that we had happen at not Cirith Ungol, at the Minas Morgul, in which I had a lot of my poor guys getting blown to pieces by their own ballistas. Let's get running on over here. Malor is hanging out. Hanging out. Kind of, these trolls are really the concern for me, and then, well, the swarm is kind of the big concern as well. And it looks like Malor is more than happy to get stuck right on in. We seem to be, hopefully, we can't actually see how much damage we're doing. You are maybe him? Surely we're getting a few hits in there. Yep, good. We'll have no problem. We will get that broken open with 2 ballistas. Rangers and armsmen leading the way there. Yeah, I really would prefer not to charge the trolls. Well, if I have to, but it's not the way that I want this to go down. What else do they have here? Some orc host and orc maulers. Yeah, Gandalf, let's get this done. Try and open up on them, please. They are going right for him. Okay, boys. Let's not have Malor die today. Oh, they did switch. Luckily, those armsmen managed to get their attention, because, oh. But to be honest, Malor, you could not ask for a better shot with. Yeah, perfect. Oh, that's bold, but I like it. Good armor-piercing fire going right on in there. Yeah, just stay ready, but don't. No need to do anything rash now that I see that. Good. Still hammering away. The ballistas are not really going to be too much worth, or not worth too much once we actually get inside, so I'm okay just firing away a little bit less accurately. Good, the AI is kind of handling that as best as they can. Fair bit friendly. Whoa! They're dealing with trolls better than I can. Very good, Malor. I'm very happy with that. I'm going to have Malor behave defensively just now. Whoa. Absolute massacre. Lovely. You guys keep firing into those orc maulers for a minute. And then he's going to march on this way. You guys get on down this way.
The gates
Good.
are down.
That is the gate. Oh, gave it one more ballista bolt for good measure. But no, we'll hold fire there. Ballistas, you can chill.
Only half the enemy
They are not.
force
Oh,
remains.
they're not holding it. That's just, I guess it makes sense. They're a lot of these guys are, you know, they're not born and bred warriors. They do want to just hold where they feel most comfortable, even if it's not the most strategically sound area. You know, I think any black Numenorian with a good degree of military skill at this point would likely be dead, or running off to try and start his own thing in the ruins of the world. These orc maulers running on away. Those trolls got eviscerated. I'm very pleased with that. But that was the baby force. These numbers are really where the concern is. Yeah, you guys move on forward. You guys just chop them up. Hold your fire for now, my boys. This could be... Oh, no. Legio 22. There. So I was going to say this could be... They're triple golden chevrons. Oh, there were several golden chevrons anyway. So I was thinking they might have been around for a long time. Did take a fair bit of friendly fire, but it's okay. It's hopefully saved our allies a little bit of ammunition. But no, Aragorn trusts in his son. Let's get Halbrand turned to aggressive stance, because he's just kind of chilling out there, which is fair enough, because that's what you do when you're in defensive stance. And yeah, that's actually going to be Malor kind of 1v1ing this army outside. So, we can dream that our boys are going to go and help them out. Ah, that's where the general is, okay. Let's not go straight for the general. I want to butcher a lot of orcs here. And the best way to do that is to keep them in the fight for a little minute. You guys both on... Yeah, you're not fire at will, so we're not going to risk a bolt coming through our backs. I'm going to run Aragorn forward a little bit. I want to have him marching in here first. Barad-dûr is a fun place to defend because you can like put your archers up here. They've got a gorgeous shot down. It is so brutal, like, because it is just a one-way in settlement. That's why you don't really see it. You know, nobody really plays it in multiplayer unless they've got some special rules for how they're doing it. Good, coming in. Don't really want to trigger Gandalf's ability just yet. Goodness me, I saw 141. I don't exactly know if that was their status pre-charge or midway through the charge, but still 66 is pretty decent. Go into those black orcs. There's no spears here. This is just going to be Gandalf brutalizing some guys. Is a proper general they have in this army, though. No captain. Oh, that was... Oh, yeah, that wasn't as fantastic a charge as I was initially thinking. You're going to come in and hit them instead, though, Gandalf. Let's get a nice slowed down charge, though. Just make use of these Royal Guard for it. 154 before contact. The last loyal orcs of Sauron, trying to reclaim his great fortress in the hopes of reforging his spirit in some way. You can't knock them for that, you know. Boys are just trying to save the only lord they ever knew. So right, we'll get out of that. Orc fighter is going to be colliding with the front lines of our allies, or the front lines of Malor here. But they shouldn't have too much trouble with that. What we are having actual trouble there is some units I've forgotten about, and they're actually fighting more on guard. That's not pretty. You guys are going to push through that and try and get into those forces if you can. Does look like Halbrad's coming on in to support us. Oh, slow down. Slow down, Aragorn. Now, they do have a lot of orc archers, as you're seeing here today. I don't really want them to just shoot at us, so we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, goodness me, nice break. You guys get into the back of those. You guys run on back here. Start firing at will again, boys. Those orc fighters just pressed up against our Arthedain footmen. I'm sorry if this does seem a bit of, like, you know, power fantasy levels, but I mean, we kind of deserve this. This is, you know, this is us reaching our final form, arguably. We're destroying the remnants of these creatures. Their last hope, really. So once that's done, we'll have nothing to fear. Right, they are getting a shot right on through us, and I think, to be honest, I don't think Aragorn's gonna hold. I think he's gonna wait. Oh, I don't think he's gonna. Oh, you're winded. You get over there. We'll let these men come forward for now. We're gonna come forward from multiple sides, though. Let's get the Huskarls over that way. There's no way in on the left unless they've... No. There's only 2 ways into this final choke point. That's good. Push out. You guys get into that. You guys pull back. Gandalf, please, hit these men in the back. I'm seeing Gandalf still kicking. He's not bloodied yet. Oh, he's tired. Yeah, no, let's just let... I shouldn't have run him for so long, especially not running uphill. I think that's something that does ruin you when you're attacking Barad-dûr. It's just because it's all uphill. Just a constant slog that you're undertaking there. I'm surprised that didn't break them, in all honesty. But it did not. Get on over here. We're seeing on our left flank some heroic wardens there. Could use some support. And I hope to provide it in the hands of the Sworn Horsemen. Yep, just get slamming back on in there before the real nasties of the halberdiers arrive. Winded. Yeah, you guys, you're gonna have the glory. You're gonna charge alongside Aragorn, I think. He's down to winded, he'll be fine. Nice smashing there. Oh, damn, that's not a fun place for Carlin Riders. Can you try and slink on out? I've avoided those cell swords, but I think it's almost time to strike them. Yeah, okay, no, mate. Good, they made it out. They made it out. Let's see, because if I kill the general, this swarm is gonna dart off, and I want to wipe them out here. This is not really something that our forces are imagining we can lose. So this is really viewed as our best chance to kind of to kill so many of our enemy. You know, we know that the orcs could disappear into Gorgoroth. They could disappear into the many caves that they can live in, and we really can't. So they'll and they could be engaging in this guerrilla war for a generation. So we want to try our best to use this as the genocide battle. With, you know, the cruelest term as you could probably use is, you know, the genocide battle. Just trying to wipe out as many of these orcs as we can. Destroy their spirit while simultaneously wiping out as many of their lives as we can. In order to ensure the... yes, I could do a nice double shield wall here, couldn't I? You guys both get into shield wall. You there. Fantastic hit, Gandalf.
Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Fantastic hit. Then you guys there. And we're going to do a shield wall push with them. Gandalf, you get out of there, though, because those are halberdiers. Oh, no, those are more on guard. It's not fun, but it's nowhere near as bad as the halberdiers with their armor piercing against you. You're nice and safe, right, Gandalf? I don't see Gandalf. Where are you, my man? White Wizard? White Wizard? Your whole unit's fine. Where are you? No. Oh, there he is. Why could I not see him? Goodness me, he was scaring me. I thought it was like one lucky halberdier just managed to get him. Alright. Nice, you guys in shield wall now. Let's burst open forward. This is not meant to be the grind. This is meant to be the explosion through. So let's try and see if we can get a good shot of Sauron's eye. You can only really see it from above, or from below. Oh, sorry about that. No. No, no, no. There we go. Ah, nice. Spooky stuff. I might actually just go for a cheeky... I might do the same thing with this battle that I did with the Hirathungul and Minas Morgul and so on fights. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Okay, yeah. Just mop up the last of those cell swords. Ah, oh god, they're all running inside. Yeah, that's actually, such a shame for them, actually. I forgot they would do that. Armsmen breaking in through the lines. Not really with any, like, high mass that we see in Reforged, but you can see how easily I am shunting them aside. I've not actually taken any casualties from those pushing units yet. Huskarls slamming into the left flank there. Breaking down these, well, in this case bandits, but, as I say, I'm viewing them as, like, non-combat Black Numenorians. They would be offered, even as angry as we are and as vengeful as we are in this case, they would be offered surrender, but they're too far gone to accept. Let's trigger this at this point. I want to see if this... No. Oh, it does. Yep. So it is map wide. Oh, that's funny. That's very funny. They're classed as Westrons. I guess because this fort... Oh, interesting. Oh, well. Yeah. I guess that's just what the bandits have. So, yeah, some of them are slightly more combat capable, slightly more battle ready, and wearing elements of armor. Either that or freed or press-ganged prisoners who have long since been corrupted by the influences of the enemy. This is a bit of a dicey position to be in there, Malor. A lot of halberdiers around you. We're going to run over here and backstab these halberdiers. Okay, good. He's in skirmish mode. He's in skirmish mode. He's no problemo. I can bring Gandalf back anyway, just to make sure. So we have exploded on in. Once again, we'll trigger this. Malbug. We've been watching Malbug for a little bit. Goodness sake, the Grey Company. They're just so fast. Oh, cheesy peeps. Just slicing through people like they're not there. Right, yeah, get off shield wall now and just engage as normal, boys. We'll have another unit. Have these guys rush on forward. The Arthedain footmen, yeah, let's let them be part of this as well, of course. Now, what I would do here is probably get my... Yeah, well, we'll give the order to do it anyway. I'd get my archers over there to shoot them in the sides. Yep, there. Oh, right. Bodyguard need our support there, Gandalf. Especially because I think Malor is... No, he's safe. Fantastic. Good. Well played. Well played. Right. 214. They would win. Oh, those are more on guard. They still would win that fight, I think. Oh, broken. If they all fought to the very end, they'd maybe win. But in that sort of circumstance, no, sir. Ballista crew, did they... I wonder what happened to their ballista. Did they just leave it?
The enemy are badly
I'm not
blooded.
sure. I definitely didn't
They've
chase them
lost
off
half
it.
their men.
So, yeah. Could have been. And yeah, no, it's just slicing them apart. The Grey Company in there. Really nothing that can match them at this point. The only unit capable of it is Sauron himself, and he perished some time ago at our hands. Oh, we are losing. You know, the Grey Company, they're not invincible. They are just 1 hit point units. But they are damn good, especially, you know, this is only 15 armor. They do look like they've got a heavier armor value than that, but I think if you gave them any more armor than 15, it would be insane. They would be just wholly unkillable. Fantastic. Yeah, let's get some shots in, boys. Why not? Save some of our lives. I think over here we're chasing people down. Some halberdiers there. Getting shot at. Great. It wouldn't be the finale of this campaign without my cat needing to burst down my door. So we'll have a quick cut. Oh dear, didn't pause it. It's fine. Cat has been tended to. Halberds there. I'm not gonna take the risk. I've charged headlong into spears a few times and the like, and it's just not worked out, which is fair. It shouldn't work out. So even with the likes of Gandalf. Oh, you're actually not on fire at all. I'm really sorry, guys. They've been just biting, ready to hammer into these guys. Point blank, arm-piercing fire into the back. Bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. But yeah, that's them shredded. I think you guys are maybe... Yeah, no, you're better off in melee from that angle, really. The rangers themselves will... Yeah, we'll do more damage with misfires. Not so much misfires, with friendly fire than we would, you know, taking losses in melee there. So we'll get the seal bows, and the seal bows, to be honest, are better than our blade masters in melee. So, you know, 14, 25 total defense, whereas they've they are they do have the melee upgrade though. So, but still, pretty good. So just jumping on in there to slice some people apart. I think Halbarad is arriving now to just really apply a bit more pressure onto them. But Björnsagath is not Björnsagath. Sorry, Barad-dûr is definitely it'd be kind of difficult to hold it for some in some cases against, like, say, a dwarven attacker. Imagine trying to hold this as orcs against, like, Khazad-dûm, late game Khazad-dûm attacking you. It'd be hell. You know, because you really are just packed into these corners. But I guess, you know, you can make your numbers work, and you can shoot them. You can quite comfortably shoot them from the back. I think that's how you've got to do it. You hold there and you shoot them in the back. That's really how you win here, because you don't have towers to really help you out. It is just the oops, the daisies. Looks like we've got to get something special done here. Good. Yeah, Gandalf is fine. He's not going to be punished for my foolishness there. We're just going to have to surround this unit and smash him. What's Malor up to? Okay, I guess he's still set on defensive stance. That's why he didn't actually come over and help us out. But that's okay. We'll get kind of all sides slam into these halberds, and that should be a Ricky Tech break. Even the scouts alone. Oh no, scouts weren't enough. There they are. And that's it. Holy smokes. That's all of them dead inside.
This is a clear victory.
Oh, very nice Halbrad. Halbrad is at least nice and healthy. He'll come and organize the place. A lot of prisoners caught by the Royal Guard. Oh, you know, this is my man. So many kills by the Grey Company. Holy smokes. They actually outkilled Gandalf. Armsmen there looking good. Yeah, just shunting their way through. You can get a lot of kills as you push through lines. Malor doing some good work there. And yeah, throughout. And then Halbrad showing up. Good man. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, that is the end of the campaign. That is as well me fulfilled the game's campaign goals. Very much when I do a campaign, I'm setting my own campaign goals. Like, I don't really abide by what the game tells me to do. It just so happened that in this case, it worked out. So that's quite nice. You know, it's a nice sort of satisfying way to come to a close there. But that is the final sort of battle here. Oh goodness me, slicing down so many armies. One more to go. There you go. Get out of there. We will be exterminating. Victory! Oh, do we have a little clap? Oh, no. I guess not. That's a shame. Oh. But still, that's the first time in my entire life I've ever actually completed a Third Age campaign. Unless maybe I have completed some in the past, but I don't think so. So yeah, holy smokes, I'm going to continue playing. But yeah, great. That's good. I'm really glad that that is how we sort of finish it off. Have a quick read through Barad-dûr if you want. Wait, what the heck? Oh, sorry, 30 miles directly west. I was like, 30 miles high? What? No. We've got another stone. I think we currently have all of the Palantir. Of course, one is controlled by Bree, but I'm ruling that Bree is part of us. All of this stuff would be destroyed, of course. We'd start just totally fresh here. And we'd get more diplomats if we wanted to. Which we would be spreading them all around. Aragorn is now the conqueror of Barad-dûr. Certainly not a bad thing to have. But yeah,
Yes, your orders,
oh,
my lord.
oh, yes, fair. So they would begin their march. Things are quite safe. No, they would travel back with like a personal guard, I think. I think Halbarad would probably come with them.
Yes,
No, I think Halbarad would want to be here, and Aragorn would want him to be here.
My lord.
But yeah, I think this group would move west.
Yes.
And so Aragorn. Now we're getting to the final sort of story time, as for how we would try to continue from this point. Aragorn
Your orders, my lord.
and Gandalf would begin marching west.
Yes, my lord.
Down here we have
Your
Colfin
orders, my
Thor leading the southern push through Mordor. Malor would be
Yes, my
leading the northern push through Mordor, alongside Halbarad
Your orders, my
to
lord.
kind of advise and help him out in any way that he can. But Malor he's a
Yes, my lord.
battle-hardened veteran at this point. You know, he's Aragorn's son, so Aragorn's always gonna have this like, no, he's my son. But you know, and a man like Halbarad, who is known for many years, is always useful to have him nearby. But no, so Malor would be leading that, and Halbarad would just be helping him out. Colfin Thor down there, it's another good challenge for him, but and actually no, he's alone down there. That's true. So, but with that, we don't expect there to be any major resistance as we push around, just freeing up the Sea of Nirn and capturing it all. We see actually a movement from Rune to come in and try and grab some land here, try to hold on to their power. And as in the actual lore of Lord of the Rings, what happens after, Rune does actually continue to remain a thorn in the side of the Free Peoples. Harad and Umbar as well. They both make peace with Gondor, but Rune remains a threat for a generation more. And really, there is so much fighting with the Rohirrim and the Gondorians going off and continuing to cleanse them. I think, throughout the entirety of Éomer's life, he's campaigning pretty much non-stop. But and I think that's, of course, as we see, that's really what's going to be happening here, especially with us continuing to damage Ered Luin. Rune is going to be probably back with a vengeance, a real powerful vengeance. But we try our very best to buff Dale. We would assist them militarily with with our
Yes,
finances too. We would give them as much land as we possibly could in order to help them in that fight and really keep it get them doing it, not so much for us, but it was always meant to be their purpose to hold back the taint of Sauron from the east. That was always going to be Dale's goal, and we would try and push this message of Dale being the kingdom of Rhovanion. Like, this territory, we're holding on to it now, but that at the earliest chance we have. I had to unfortunately go back to a previous autosave. I did move him in there in the previous one, but I had to go back to an autosave because I screwed some stuff up. But yeah, so we would try and push that message. Is this the king? No. But whoever the King of Dale is currently, if we see him kicking about, it'd be nice to have him. No, I'm not seeing him anywhere. But they would be our eastern defender, of course, aided wherever necessary, aided by the brave and noble wild men of the Anduin, and the archers and elves of Mirkwood too, who now control all of the forests around their territory. This northern paths, I would kind of expect that to be in the hands of Khazad-dûm. Khazad-dûm, as I say, is going to be the dwarven state. Now, it was originally, we were sure that it was going to be Ered Luin, that they were going to be the powerful dwarven force, that, you know, the singular powerful dwarven force, really. But Ered Luin is now not Ered Luin, sorry, Khazad-dûm is once again going to be the King of Kings, and hopefully control everything in the north after Ered Luin is brought low. Not so much brought low, that sounds terrible, but after Ered Luin is separated from the east. They're now sort of this two kingdom state, really, and they can't really sustain themselves too well with that. As for Ered Luin, we would be taking Ang-Sul and Gundabad, and giving Gundabad, I think Gundabad is going to be what we siege in the epilogue episode. So probably while I'm speaking away, I'll siege Gundabad. I really want to see what Gundabad looks like in this, and you know, because we played some Gundabad fights in Reforged and really enjoyed them. So I want to see what they've got for that. I've never actually seen Gundabad at all in Divide and Conquer. I've seen Basra-Kul though, so I'll do that. And of course at the in the epilogue episode, I'll give away the territory. This is us kind of explaining everything and what would happen, but we would, at this point, fully hand back Khazad-dûm. The only reason I've not done so already is because I don't want to risk a war between Khazad-dûm and the elves. Now, lore-wise, there's no justification I could think of for that. So that's the reason I've not given Khazad-dûm away. But I could definitely see gameplay-wise the High Elves thinking, oh, let's attack Khazad-dûm, you know, so I don't want to do that right now. That's the only reason I've not given it away. So in-characterly, we basically have entirely given it away right now. There's still these Ered Luin generals. Usually I would take them out. I take any chance I can to take out an enemy general, especially with my skilled my skilled rangers, ranger assassins. However, this is not a war that we want to fight. This is really a war that we've had to fight. We've had to involve ourselves in. So any dwarf we don't have to kill or capture, get out of our sight. Just run away and we will not pursue you. That's really it. But there's no more further west we want to take. We do not want to push into the Blue Mountains. One, because it would be an absolute bloodbath for us and the dwarves. And two, we've done everything we needed to do here. We've done the damage we had to. We've split the Blue Mountains away from the east where they were attacking. After Ang-Sul and Gundabad fall, we would actually begin peace talks with the dwarves of the west. We would try to help organize this situation as peacefully as possible, especially now that Aragorn can put his full focus into doing so. He no longer has to focus on Sauron. He no longer has to focus on orcs. He can be this diplomatic figure. So he would do his very best to handle all of this as hopefully the dwarves in the east being moved over into the control of Khazad-dûm. That's the main thing. I think the dwarves of the Blue Mountains have unfortunately lost the right to be the most powerful dwarves, and we would be moving that over once again to Khazad-dûm, as I say. Peace talks as well. I actually thought Bree would have already taken Basra-dûm. They aren't at war with the dwarves just yet, but if they were to take it, we would try to help in peace talks to get Basradun back in the hands of the dwarves. It is important to us that they control it. So, because that is such an important part of their history, and we would want to keep it. Down in Enid Wythe, this is we've been here a while now. This was never really land that we wanted to hold on to, but we have been here some time. You know, we've been here for sort of 2 decades at this point. So we would try our very best to create a lifestyle where, you know, our Dunedain can live comfortably in defensible towns and in our castles, but the lands outside remain wild. We would try our best to respect the forests of these ancient peoples, and while also giving them the comforts of a more civilized society. Now, unfortunately, this is not something that would happen quickly, but I think over the course of several generations, I think Enid Wythe culture would likely change. It would definitely alter into more of an Arnorian state, but we would try and make that shift as natural and as friendly as possible. Tharbad, I think, would always remain, or for a good while, Tharbad will be our administrative capital. I think we would be an empire of 3 capitals: Minas Tirith, Tharbad, and Annuminas. Annuminas being our historic capital, our cultural capital. That is where the king would reside. That's where Aragorn would be going back to. That's where he would want to stay. But it's Annuminas we can't run our empire from Annuminas. Tharbad is a much better location. We are next to the sea. We can much easier sort of receive information there. We're far closer to everything around us. And Tharbad, we spent so long developing it to be everything that we have to be the center point. So it would let's retrain some guys, why not? So we would have it remain that as the administrative capital. And then of course the third capital being, well, in one day I suppose, Osgiliath. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, Osgiliath. I was going to say Minas Tirith, but now that we do fully control Osgiliath, and we are in the process of developing it, I would say that's more likely, in all honesty, yeah. So, either or, it would be, there would be this Gondorian hub of capital, really. That's where the far-off provinces, you know, of Gondor, and we'll get onto Mordor shortly, of Gondor and the south would be administered from there. It's likely that Colfinthor would be basing himself here after the conquest of Mordor. Colfinthor would likely go to Osgiliath or Minas Tirith, while Malor moves up to Tharbad. We would want to make sure that there's always a family member, a skilled, trusted family member in all of these 3 locations, because they are equally important to us. The likes of down here in Umbar, we can see we have begun the training of some of these Númenórean forces. The Azrahir crossbows. Oh yes, that would be absolutely fantastic. I would be overjoyed to use some of them in a fight, for sure. But that's just sort of the first sign of how we would be developing there. These 3 provinces, Calduin, Umbar, and Ardamir, this is really where we would want to create our little corner of, I don't want to say corner of control, like corner of culture, I guess. This is really where Istvin would try his very best to establish a very ultimately strong foothold, and rid this land of the taint of the Ardenayam. Their much more evil practices, their cruel interpretation of Númenórean ways, and we would try to instead turn Umbar into this hub of good faith, goodwill. We are incredibly wealthy at this point, and Harad, and of course these the once Umbar supportive forces here. I suspect by the end of this, there won't be many of the Ardenniam remaining, but still so many of the Azrazir, and all of their follower cultures would be remaining. So we would want Umbar's massive port to serve as kind of like an aid arrival station in many ways. Try and really rebrand it as this is where help is coming from. This is where, you know, we're pumping support into. And we would try our very best, as I say, to have this resolve as peacefully as possible between Harad and Umbar. We try to make sure that Harad does not allow their thirst for vengeance, their search for righteous vengeance, of course, go too far. We would have to ensure that this is going to be a continued peace where these cultures are going to be able to thrive, and we would do our very best to help them do so. But it would be definitely an expensive endeavor to try and keep rebuilding Gondor and Dol Amroth while also pumping so much money into Harad and Harondor. I think the West Coast itself, at least for the time being, would be under our full control, and I think permanently we would try and hold on to it because of the danger of piracy. The deeper in, though, this is Harad. We have no claim on this territory. We have no desire for this territory. This is really for Khand and Harad to peacefully thrive. Khand is now actually without Khand has now not got Mordor. They're still allied with Rune. Damn. Okay, no, we would try our best to pull Khand into the light. Rune, I think, needs to be beaten down. Rune is too strong and they are too invested in Sauron's ways. But Khand, I think, can be brought back peacefully. So I think we've already got our diplomat there. If he's not, no, he's not there, but he's on his way. Somewhere in this region. I think we do have a few. Yeah, here he's there. He got distracted, I'm afraid. Got focused on trying to sort out peace with Umbar, actually. But he'll be moving west to... Oh, no, there he is. I'm a dude. Yeah, so we do have a man there who will try his best to make peace, or to make an alliance, and try to work out how to help the people that have been tormented by Sauron for so long. Then, yeah, I suppose we're moving on to the elves. The elves would, now that Sauron is gone, I think the elves would be beginning their departure in earnest. You know, they stayed a lot longer than they were ever really meant to, and I think they've definitely suffered for that. Toward the end of the war, they really stopped being a force on the battlefield and started becoming much more of a supportive force. I like to think kind of in the way of, you know, with Dorwinian's elves. In much the same way as Dorwinian's elves can be this passive background force, that's kind of the way that I view the High Elves serving the men of Arnor. You know, they would have been in the background, probably helping us out in Khazad-dûm, helping us out in Tharbad, to keep our men ready, to help with training, to help with armament, and so on. And that would have been where they felt better, because they are losing their strength. They're weakening the longer that they stay here. And I think after Sauron falls, after Aragorn starts to make his way home, I think there would have been many elves, even though, of course, the twins and Elrond are dead, and a lot of Aragorn's sort of companions are gone. I think there would still be an effort made to try and see him, to speak with him before the elves departed for Valinor. And I think as he moves west, though, the elves are probably going to be continuing on with him. Gandalf as well. Yeah, I suppose that would be kind of a nice little procession. They'd move out through the Black Gate, down through Celebrind, and the elves would kind of be going along with them, and that would free up these provinces. Celebrind, I would definitely imagine that going, yeah, that's going to go to the Anduin Vale, but Cair Andros would be ours. Calenhad, we would hold that, but everything in Rohan, of course, going toward the Anduin Vale, and Dunland and so on, going sort of more toward the Wild Enid Wythe, I'd say. The ones that don't feel as comfortable around our ways. We would want them to have a place that they feel just totally free to do as they please. But because the elves have lingered for a lot longer and they've had to prepare for war in this way, I think that the elves would have a much more lasting effect, especially in the architecture. As I say, I love the idea of these men of the Anduin Vale kind of just walking around Rohan, and just these old elven towers springing up here and there, these watchtowers, these messenger posts that the elves built so long ago for the War of the Ring, and they would just stay because elven architecture is damn solid like that. Bree, I think we'd kind of continue our closer and closer ties. Pelinder, of course, that's another son. That's Malor's adult son there. He's going to be going to Annuminas and remaining there until Aragorn is arrived. But yeah, Bree, I think they are already our happy vassal, but we would try and always make sure that Bree is independent of sorts, and definitely independent culturally. Bree is where you want to go if you want to sort of try and, I guess, make something in a bit different of yourself, or you want to really live a much more peaceful life rather than the warrior mindset of Arnor. You would go to Bree. And the Shire, I think definitely with spending so much time around Gandalf, even though we've not met Frodo or anything in this campaign, I think that there would be a big push for the Shire to be very Hobbit focused. Oh, I was worried there. I thought that was an Ered Luin dwarf attacking. Of course, Mithlond with its sturdy dwarven walls is getting more and more elven by the day. So I think that's everything I need to rattle through. Yeah, I think so. As for characters, we'll have another quick look down the family tree. Yeah, Pelinder there. We have Miston and Siluan, two very young children of Malor. I think Lareth, I could definitely see Lareth not getting married. I think Lareth would be, she really would be embracing this elven side of her, and I'm probably just trying her very best to probably protect the elven structures, elven remains that are spread throughout Middle Earth. I think that would require a lot of her focus, and she would probably be, a guardian aunt to someone like Siluan, rather than really having children of her own. Colfinthor, man's just been busy with war. He'd likely get married, I'd say, and settle down in the south. As for other boys, Amborn there. Coming on back, yeah, Kilabas. Durthor out in the east. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be safe. I was really worried about him, but he'll be alive. Nerdier. The one remaining son of Arfandil. Yeah, he's definitely carrying on that line. Whether he likes it or not, he is gonna be getting married and having some Arfandil blood kids, because we need that lineage to continue for sure. Anybody else that we need to point out? We do have Valiant. He is up in the north. They're fighting some dwarves right now. Died tragically. I was wondering what it would say when you looked at that. So Araphor, of course, being a bit older than Baimeldir when he was adopted. No, surely that's not possible. Dear me, Araphor's living sons. He does have one there and then two daughters. This, of course, I was so sad about Halthor. Yeah, that was I was really upset about that death. That really rocked me. And then he had one, Arthnir. But he does have his lineage continuing once again in kind of Araphor fashion. Lots and lots of daughters. Getting popped out there by his son. Whereabouts are you based, my man? He's in Corwellshire watching out for any movements in Basra-Dum. Fair enough. Good, good, good. Scanning over here. Yep. Our dwarven friend there remaining. He's got his sons near... Oh, no, this is the man that's... Durian has been in charge of Western Khazad-dûm for a while. Borvin, of course, in Dol Amroth. Here, there. Meldir. Hemdir. Iselian. Falan and Durin. Just trying to see, where is... Oh, Kilfinman. Good. Kilfinman's got a daughter. That's nice to see. As he marched... He's actually he was in Mordor. I moved him around. He would be coming up to assist in the battles against Rhûn. Sort of taking the territory closer to the Ash Mountains, I think they're called. Those northern ones. The northern mountain range in Mordor. Aragorn, no time for kids. He is far too focused to be mucking about with anything like that. And yeah, geez, getting toward the end of the boys. They're Ingold. They're still fine. Well, yeah, marching up northwest. He is currently ready with an army. Oh no, sorry, this is Ingold. I got Ingold confused with somebody else. But yeah, he's going to be going off and seeing that. Well, the thing is, we don't actually... Oh, we have our spy right there. Yeah, we see that. He would hold. He would not be advancing silly into Erebor and fighting a huge swarm of dwarves. Not worth it at all. So he'd bide his time. Maybe even move up and help him there. But that'll be for the epilogue episode. I think... Oh, yeah, to have a quick look at graphs. This isn't really storyline-wise, but just if you want to see that, let's go for military-wise. Some of the people that we really are... If we look at the top 5 factions right now, military-wise, we've got Bree, we've got myself, Ered Luin. You can see that absolute nosedive when we sort of... We were both neck and neck, and then we start fighting each other. And then they were fighting everybody. Rhûn is in there. They are dropping now too, though, but they're still neck and neck with Ered Luin. By production ranking, I've just had to keep production up everywhere. Territory ranking, financial ranking. This, yeah, that wows me. Seeing Rhûn there. Population as well. I think I am by far the most populated in the world right now. And overall, of course. Anything fancy that I think we want to have a look at? It's just the financial ranking of... Oh, there we go, good. Financial ranking of Khazad-dûm is always interesting to see. Sort of did a little bounce there. I think that's probably when they start to lose troops. They've come back up. But yeah, very cool. Anyway, Dark Lord himself, he was there. He showed up for a bit. Umbar, then our chief sort of enemy for a long time being Isengard. Absolute monster. We're stronger than Isengard ever was, but holy smokes, Isengard was too scary. But yeah, anyway, so thank you so much. Being exposed to my rambling for a while there. More than happy to chat away if you guys have anything that you either think a character or think a faction may do in the near future. I'd be very keen to talk about that in the comments, even if this is maybe like 2 years down the line. Hopefully I'll remember this campaign, and yeah, I'd be grateful for the thought. You guys have always been really useful in the lore development of this, and I'm grateful for any ideas that you do throw my way. Totally. I do try my best to just let the ideas kind of flow naturally and not overthink them too much. You know, take what's happening and piece a story together about that instead of really making the story to happen the way I feel it should. But we'll talk more about that in the epilogue. So yeah, one final thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one.